Life as we know it continues to be a bit of the unknown, doesn't it? And please tell me that I'm not the only one who feels that way. I did my last in-person presentation on March 12th, and then my husband and I went into lockdown March 15th. And from that point on, I kind of began the work of shifting 17 upcoming in-person presentations to later in the year, and then eventually into 2021. I shifted to providing online sessions for my clients, which required studio setup, learning 6 different online platforms, reworking my content, overcoming tech challenges. I'm telling you, I have never been so obsessed with having a reliable internet connection. I've had Zoom chats with hundreds of friends, family, and colleagues across the world, with and without cocktails. I've baked 14 loaves of COVID bread and looked for new ways to burn off the excessive bread and wine calories. And just for kicks, we threw a puppy into the mix, and you can hear her in this video, probably for most of this video. I've pivoted in so many ways in my life these days that some days I'm not sure which way I'm facing. Can you relate? Hey, Michelle Cederberg here, contemplating the ongoing reality of life under the cloud of COVID. It's been about 130 days. That's over 18 weeks. That's over 4 months of pandemic living that has left me, just a bit tired and out of sorts. We're not out of the woods with this COVID thing, and I've been thinking about that a lot, especially these last 2 weeks. As much as I want life to return to normal or whatever next will become, we still have a long road ahead of us until that happens. And I'll admit, after my last presentation on July 7th, the wind just sort of left my sails. Sure, I was distracted by our puppy, Isla, but there's been more to it than that. I've been struggling, as I'm sure some of you have too, with the uncertainty of it all. The whole what now, what next dilemma, and how to navigate this motivation funk that I'm in, low motivation, let's say, because it's not me. It's not normal for me, and I have been fighting it. And then Tuesday I had breakfast with a coaching colleague, and in all her wisdom, she said, if you were your own client, what advice would you give yourself? I'm like, shit. And she then said, what's in that new book of yours? Which got me thinking. For those of you who don't know, I have a new book coming out this fall, and it's called The Success Energy Equation. I will save the sassy subtitle until I have a cover design to share with you. But until then, its essence is about getting clear about what you want and harnessing the energy and confidence to get it, which is something I need right now. So I went back through the manuscript to remind myself of my own good advice. I want to share a bit of that with you now and in the weeks to come, because as it turns out, the Success Energy Equation also seems to be a bit of a COVID survival guide. In the book's intro, I talk about the busyness of life and how we get stuck on autopilot as we navigate our crazy schedules. I wrote, if you feel like you're going through the motions some days or many, if life feels too routine or a bit mundane, if distractions are draining your energy, if you're constantly rushing out the door, rushing to get it all done, or wondering when you'll find a bit of calm and you're feeling the chaos of life, then it might be time to get present to the mess. 21st and a quarter century stress may be impacting your success. I'll share more about 21st and a quarter century stress in a future video. For now, think chronic stress on steroids. I also wrote, so much of success comes down to human capacity or human performance and your capacity to operate at a high level mentally, physically, and emotionally, no matter what comes at you. Today's brand of high level stress, which I'll say includes COVID at the moment, endless distractions and lack of time management, means we go through life ignoring what we need for ourselves in those areas. As an antidote to 21st and a quarter century stress, you need to slow down and start listening to your body again. It knows what it needs. And that short segment got me thinking. Typically, we might view autopilot as a negative because it disconnects us from the here and now. But in reality, autopilot is a defense mechanism of sorts that helps us manage mounting stress. one of the useful aspects of Autopilot is that it helps us automate the everyday, mundane, routine parts of our life so we can focus on getting shit done. Your morning routine at home, how you start your day at work, where you go to buy coffee or pick up lunch, where you sit during your weekly meetings, even your commute often happen on Autopilot, and that helps you free up bandwidth and decrease stress. Well, 4 months ago, all of those Autopilot functions shut down, they vanished. And why is that? Well, because all of us had to get fully present to everything that had changed. Everything about your routine, everything about what was normal was now gone, and you can't do that on Autopilot. I want you to think about that. The simplest routine parts of your day all of a sudden required your full bandwidth. The kids were home from school. That's not normal. How do you navigate that? Your office has now become, is now at the kitchen table, or that's where your kid's classroom is, and you're sharing the spare room with your spouse who is also working from home. The dog is the only one who likes having you all around. Coffee is now entirely up to you, and no one makes a latte like your favorite barista at your favorite coffee shop. It's harder to work out without that class or your trainer or your running buddy. One of my coaching clients said, breaks? What are breaks? If I'm not working, I'm helping my kid with math, or I'm breaking up yet another sibling yelling match. I'll say it again, everything has changed. So to navigate the newness, your brain has gone into overdrive. Stress has increased, and with it, fatigue and potential burnout have crept in too. So this week, I was reminded that change is hard, and at some point, we have to give ourselves a big old break and recognize that hard work requires a little bit of rest. And I had to do that for my own sanity. I have to do that now so that I have the energy to re-engage with the work that I love when things pick up again this fall. And if any of this resonates with you, let me share some of what I'm doing for myself to get back on track. And yes, I'm taking my own success energy advice. Number one, listen to your body. It knows what it needs. Whether it's more sleep or more exercise or more breaks, a few days off, or even just a few minutes to yourself, you're not going to know what your body needs unless you listen. And if the answer isn't obvious, get quiet with yourself. This week I started meditating again, just 10 minutes every morning while puppy sleeps on my lap, which actually helps the process. And it gives my brain and body a chance to pause. It allows oxygen to come in at a deeper level. And I give myself no expectation about how well I meditate, because I'm not very good at it right now. But it has helped me start my day from a calm point of view, instead of the frenzied, I'm not doing enough mindset that has plagued me the last couple of weeks. Which brings me to number two. Give yourself permission to take a day off. I'm self-employed, so that should be easy enough. And it's summer, so it should be a no-brainer. But I haven't really stopped my work since lockdown began, except for the 2 days when we took a road trip to pick up puppy. And even then, I was checking in on the daily. Lockdown living, especially if you're working from home, means that work is always front and center, whether it's a job you get paid for or the work of life that has changed so much these past few months. Schedule some time off. Or at the very least, do your downtime better. I've been reading more and scrolling less. I've been puttering in my garden and taking Isla for short puppy walks, and quite frankly, just enjoying her puppiness, because it lasts a lot shorter than, the growth of your teenagers. And number three, and this is an important one because things aren't going to change anytime soon. Get clear about what you need for yourself to be able to sustain pandemic living. And I know that that's not what you want to hear, but what we're in right now is our reality, and it's going to be the reality for the foreseeable future. It's your life for the time being, so don't put it on hold. And ask yourself, what do I need to do to make the most of all the things that are going to make life worth living, or the things that you need to do? That's working from home. That's the situation around the kids back to school. There's a lot of uncertainty there. Taking care of your current health needs and socializing and time off and all of it. What do you need? Think about those things, because we could be riding this wave, and I know in Canada we're doing a darn good job, but we still need to dig in. We could be riding this wave for a little while. Do what you need to do to take care of yourself. And when all else fails, remember to breathe. I talk about this a lot in the Success Energy Equation, especially in chapter 4, where I address how to move from autopilot to awareness. Breathing is automated by our reptilian brain, so we don't need to think to breathe. And unfortunately, the default breathing then becomes upper third breathing. We don't utilize the full value of a deep breath of air, and that right now can be a lifesaver. So when you're feeling that stress coming in high, when you're feeling like you just need a pause and you don't have time for one, stop, slow down your breathing, get right down to the bottom of those lungs. You can do this throughout the day, and just a few deep breaths will do, and it gives you a sense of calm. It slows your heart rate down and provides a mini meditation when necessary. I'm going to say it again. We're not done with this pandemic living just yet. So take care of yourself in small ways, physically, mentally, and emotionally, so you can see yourself through this with health, happiness, and success reasonably intact. Stay tuned for more information about the book and information from the book in the weeks ahead. I'm getting excited about the rollout of the pre-sales campaign for the book, and I'll show you the cover and tell you all sorts of fun stuff from inside the book. Share this message with somebody who needs to hear it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and my other socials so you don't miss a message, and share your comments about the positive ways that you are coping during COVID. I'm Michelle Cedarberg, reminding you that we've got one chance to do this life, shut down or not. I say dare to live it big, and dare to include a little bit of self-care in your plan. You got this.